Loneliness is not your enemy. It is the forge where your soul is made, the silence where your strength is born. Most people fear loneliness. They run from it. They fill it with noise, with distractions, with temporary company. But the Stoic knows loneliness is a gift, a chance to meet yourself, to face your fears, to build your inner fortress. Loneliness is not a cage. It is the workshop of resilience, the quiet place where you sharpen your mind, your character, your purpose. In loneliness, you have no one to impress, no one to compare to, no one to distract you with temporary company. But the Stoic knows loneliness is a gift, a chance to meet yourself, to face your fears, to build your inner fortress. Loneliness is not a cage. It is the workshop of resilience, the quiet place where you sharpen your mind, your character, your purpose. In loneliness, you have no one to impress, no one to compare to, no one to distract you. You confront yourself fully, without masks, without excuses, without escape. This is uncomfortable because it forces growth. It burns away illusions. It strips you to your core. But from this fire, you emerge stronger, clearer, more whole. The world often confuses loneliness with weakness, but the Stoic teaches it is strength in training, the solitude before the storm, the calm before the battle. You use loneliness to learn who you really are, not who the world wants you to be, not who social media says you should be, but you. You build discipline by showing up for yourself, even when no one else does. You build wisdom by listening to your inner voice when the noise of the crowd fades away. You build peace by accepting your own company without bitterness, without desperation. Loneliness is the forge that tempers your spirit. It teaches you to be comfortable alone, so you can be strong with others. Because if you cannot stand alone, you will crumble when the crowd disappears. Use loneliness to discover your values, your desires, your limits. Use it to dream, to plan, to prepare. Use loneliness to practice self-love, not the selfish kind, but the kind that says, I am enough, even when no one is here. Loneliness is not a prison. It is a sanctuary, a sacred place where the soul speaks. But you must enter it willingly, not as punishment, not as exile, but as a warrior enters battle with purpose and honor. Do not fear the silence. Do not avoid the empty moments. They are where your true strength is born. When you embrace loneliness, you are free from the need for constant approval, from the craving for validation, from the endless chasing of distractions. You learn to depend on yourself, to trust your own judgment, to carry your own weight. Loneliness teaches self-reliance, the foundation of all freedom. It shows you who your real friends are, because true friends respect your need for space and support your growth. It shows you where your weaknesses lie, so you can strengthen them. It shows you what truly matters, so you can let go of the rest. But loneliness is also a test. It can break you if you let it, if you fall into despair, if you wallow in self-pity. You must use loneliness like the Stoics did, as a tool for growth, as a mirror for truth, as a path to freedom. When the world feels cold and empty, remember, this is the fire that forges you, the silence that teaches you. Lean into it, learn from it, let it make you, not break you. Because loneliness is not your cage. It is your forge, and in the forge, you become unbreakable. Loneliness forces you to face your thoughts. No more hiding behind noise, no more distractions, just you and the truth. At first, this can feel like a storm. Your mind spins, doubts rise, fears scream. But this storm is cleansing. It washes away what you don't need. It clears the space for who you truly are. In solitude, you learn patience. Patience with yourself, patience with your journey. You stop rushing, stop seeking quick fixes. You begin to understand the value of slow growth. Loneliness teaches you to listen, not just hear, but truly listen to the quiet voice within. That voice holds your wisdom, your strength, your deepest desires. When you spend time alone, you learn to trust this voice, to follow it, even when the world disagrees. You build self-confidence that is not fragile, not dependent on others' approval, but rooted in knowing yourself. You stop fearing silence, because silence becomes a friend, a teacher, a refuge. Loneliness is the space where you rebuild yourself after every failure, after every loss, after every heartbreak. It is the quiet workshop where you repair your soul and prepare to step back into the world stronger than before. The Stoics taught that external things are neither good nor bad. It is our judgment of them that causes pain. Loneliness itself is neutral. It becomes a cage only when you believe you are trapped. It becomes a prison only when you refuse to grow. You decide what loneliness means for you, a curse or a blessing, a time of weakness or a time of power. Use it to sharpen your mind, to strengthen your will, to deepen your soul. The people who run from loneliness often run from themselves, from their own shadows, from their own truth. But the brave choose loneliness because they know it leads to freedom, to clarity, to mastery. Loneliness is also a mirror. It reflects back your true self without filters, without pretenses. You see your flaws, your strengths, your fears, your courage. And in this reflection, you find the raw material to build a better you. You learn that being alone does not mean being lonely. You learn to find joy in your own company, in your own growth, in your own peace. The forge of loneliness creates warriors, not victims. Warriors who stand firm, who don't need constant noise, who find strength in stillness. So next time you feel lonely, don't run away. Don't fill the space with distractions. Step into it, welcome it, use it. Because loneliness is your secret weapon, your hidden strength, your path to becoming unbreakable. Loneliness strips away the superficial. It exposes what is real and what is not, what matters and what is trivial. In that bare space, you learn to cherish simplicity, to appreciate silence, to respect solitude. The world fears solitude because it reveals truths we avoid. It forces us to confront ourselves honestly. But the Stoic embraces it because true strength comes from within, not from outside approval. Loneliness is a forge for the soul's armor. Each moment alone tempers your resolve, hardened by reflection, tempered by self-acceptance. You learn to carry your own weight without needing others to prop you up. You find peace not in crowds, but in yourself. This self-reliance is freedom because you no longer depend on others for your happiness, your validation, your worth. The quiet moments of loneliness are opportunities to train your mind, to practice resilience, to cultivate patience. You develop the ability to sit with discomfort, to face difficult thoughts, to heal without distractions. Loneliness sharpens your focus, cuts away distractions like a blade, leaving only what is essential. You discover what truly fuels your soul, what drains your energy, what deserves your time. Loneliness allows you to rebuild your inner world. Strong foundations, clear values, unshakable principles. The process is not easy. It can feel like a slow, lonely battle, but it is necessary. Because without this inner work, you will be weak, easily swayed, lost in the noise of the world. The forge of loneliness creates warriors of peace. Warriors who don't seek external validation, who don't rely on others to define their worth. Instead, they stand firm, rooted in themselves, unmoved by chaos, unshaken by storms. They choose solitude not as punishment,